Hey
everyone.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Hi.
We're here. We did it. We did Max.
And I'm Julia Masalska.
Yes, and today we are giving you the first look hands-on at some of the updates to Illustrator on iPad, as well as some of the updates on Illustrator on desktop. It's going to be a great time, and we have content coming to you all day from our friends at Adobe Live, so stick around. So Julia, without further ado, we're running a little bit late, so let's just jump right in. What are we doing today?
So today we're going to be working on the iPad first, and then I'm going to show you guys how the cloud documents enable you to share documents with others and also share them to your desktop. So if you open Illustrator on the iPad, by the way, it's already available in the App Store, the amazing features. So we have this overview on our main page. We have the home button where we'll be able to do some start something new, or we can also get some inspiration, and also we can go onto the learn button, which also enables us to view some of the amazing tutorials for Illustrator on the iPad. And here
Yep, and
I'll be able to, yeah, go
there's a
ahead.
ton of new stuff coming, and so that's a great resource for you to see what things are coming. If you want a little more in-depth tutorials, we'll try to cover as much as we can today, but if you need follow-up, that's an awesome place. Click on that learn tab and watch some of those videos.
That's for sure. Or you can also just design along with us. That's going to be fun as well. And you can also go on to Discover, which shows you the different live streams that are going on in Illustrator and also in Illustrator for the iPad. And those, some of those live streams, we're going to be getting into that a little bit later, but those are shown on Behance, and you can totally stream live from the iPad, which is going to be really amazing. We're going to show you how to do that by the end of this session. So now let's jump into my work, and I have already started creating a design. The amazing thing on Adobe on Illustrator on the iPad is that you can work from anywhere, anytime, and you can totally. First, a little intro. I am Julia Masalska, and you can find me at Julia Masalska on social media, and we also have the amazing Andrew Hochradel. And you can go onto Instagram and find him at hawk.co. So we are your hosts, and you probably know us already from Adobe Live sessions. We've been hosting a lot for the past years. And so the amazing things is, work on the go. I think Illustrator on the iPad will change the whole workflow of yours. And you should definitely check it out if you are a person who travels a lot, or who likes to work on their balcony, or who likes to work in a living.
And I've taken Illustrator to Australia, to Canada, to all kinds of places as I've traveled. And it's so handy to just be able to toss my Apple Pencil in my hat, have my iPad on the plane, work on something using Cloud Docs on my iPad, and then open it on desktop when I get home to share it, to put on finishing touches. It's incredible to take on the go.
Cool. So in my case, I use it a lot for logo design and creating variations. So I would like to share with you guys some of the features and how you can actually use it, and all the abilities, all the amazing features that Illustrator on the iPad has to offer. So here is a simple letter combination that I have created, like a letter mark, and you can go in by double clicking and you'll be able to access the letter. And then if you double click once again, you will be able to access the vector of this letter. You can go in and modify, you can go in and change up your letters, you can literally create your own designs, modify the vector to be able to work in a vector on the go. It's really amazing. And so here,
if you're working with an iPad, I believe, Julie, you're working with an Apple Pencil and your hands, right?
Yes, correct.
Yep.
So I'm most of the times I'm using my hand to kind of access the little toggle, the little shortcut circle that helps us to navigate in our actions. So sometimes it acts as the shift, clicking and holding that little circle, and that helps me to access this shortcut of shift when I'm selecting multiple.
All those hotkeys that you're familiar with convert over, so you can use the trackpad, you can use the Apple Pencil, all those hotkeys, holding shift, all of that works.
So let's talk about the main features here on the left side. Most of them you will find in Illustrator. Some of them are a little bit different to use, but it's mostly really simple and really easy to kind of get into that. So I have the selection tool selected. Here we have the direct selection tool to work in vectors. Go ahead and modify it, right? So it's just a regular selection tool like we know it on the desktop. Then we have the pen tool, which allows us to create custom vectors, which I'm going to go out of this, and we can go ahead and just start creating custom vectors just by hand with using our pencil, which is really amazing.
And
Okay,
it carries
and
over
then
all the precision that you would have on the desktop. And I think even more precision, being able to use the pencil, being able to have exact kind of angles. It's one thing with clicking and dragging, but using that pencil, you really get a hands-on feeling, and it feels a lot smoother to me working on the iPad.
Yeah, and we have all of these amazing things that help us design with precision. We have the angles that are shown. We have the snapping to the 90-degree angles, which is really amazing. All right, so then we have the pencil tool. As we know, we can just go ahead and sketch. A really amazing tool that I really love is the blob brush. So if we click and hold onto the pencil tool, we'll be able to access the blob brush. The blob brush will help us to create vector sketches or vector drawings or illustrations. So this can be really fun to play with. We're gonna get into that in just a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys how that works. And of course, we have our regular eraser tool, so we can erase some of the things that we're making. We can even erase, just like regularly we have in our desktop, that we can erase vector points and so on. Then we have, did you want to add anything, Andrew?
Oh, I was going to say, Mallory is asking in chat, is this live? Yes, this is completely
live. This is live. Feel free to ask questions.
Hello. Yeah. So chat, ask questions if you need any advice or you want to know what's going on with the program. We can answer those questions as we go. We're going to show off a bunch of the features. We have about 20 features to get through. So we're going to hit some of those features. And if you have questions, we'll answer them as you go. Feel free to say hi as well. Let me know where you're watching from.
Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to ask questions. You're always welcome to do that. So here we have our shape tool where we can select between a square, a circle, a triangle, and a star, and we can simply put those together by just holding and dragging with our pencil tool, right? And here the coolest thing that I really love is the color swap between the outline and the fill. So all we have to do is just hold and drag the color onto the opposite, basically. So now we have the outline being the fill, which is really fun. And it's kind of very easy to create something here and just swap the colors. So you don't have to go in and select no color. You can just swap them out very easily with a pen. So now we have the text tool like we know it. We just built a text box and it's getting filled with lorem ipsum. Then we can go ahead. Once we have created this box filled with text, we have this properties panel open up on the right side. And if you're wondering how you can set the pen to show this little circle where I'm pointing, you can go into settings up here. You can go into app settings and you can go into, what was that? I think input. Yeah, so here we have the touch options, show taps as a blue dot. This is what helps you if in case you're live streaming your design process. It will help you to show the people where exactly you're pointing and what exactly you're doing. So this is really amazing.
Which live streaming is coming to everyone. That's right. Live streaming is available from the app. So we'll show you that at the end. But this is a super helpful tool if you want to show your process as you live stream. You can do it straight from the app and you can turn that on so people can see where you're drawing, where you're tapping, and what you're using.
Yeah, totally. And so speaking of typefaces, we have our text options here on the right side, right? The regular paragraph settings. We can make it a text container or what's it called again? I believe it's some extendable container. Anyway, so just a little bit of a different feature. And then we have our regular settings, our padding tracking, and so on. We have the the manual adjustment of typefaces that we can use here as well. And of course, we can access our amazing type kit from here. So you can access fonts, the whole font library that's accessible for you for free here, right from the iPad from Illustrator.
Yes, there are over 17,000 fonts included in there. And the great thing is right below that text box are all the easiest things that you want to do with type. So you can adjust the size very easily by just clicking and sliding underneath the type selection. There is the line height, there are all the layers, all of that is very easy. And I actually love the interface of being able to slide that up and down. It's so nice.
That's super fun. And that way you can totally see how your typeface works with the rest of the content, right? You can easily adjust the size, and it doesn't have to be that it's like stopping. It's like that is very smooth and very easy to kind of navigate. Really, really cool. And here we have the line spacing, which right now you won't be able to see because I have only one line here. And here we have the tracking, the kerning. Really cool. So I really love it.
Casey is saying, is the iPad version meant to be a supplement to the desktop version or an equal player? I'd say it's a pretty equal player. I definitely use both in tandem, especially using Cloud Documents. We'll show you how we do that. So someone's asking, this is not just an iPad session. We also are going to show you some of the desktop improvements and show you how you can collaborate back and forth at the end of this session. And so I think next, Julia, we're going to talk about some of the repeat features, correct?
Yeah, totally.
Let's check it out.
Let's take a look at our radial, grid, and mirror repeat. So let's say we have a really cool little smiley like this, and we want to make it a pattern, or we want to make something cool. We want to experiment with it. We want to make it fun. So here on the bottom, you will find the different repeat options. We have the radial repeat, we have the grid repeat, and the mirror repeat. One of my favorites is honestly the grid repeat, which helps you create a pattern that easy, and you have this slider that will help you to expand the pattern into the different directions, and then you can use the corner of this group and just resize your pattern and even extend it further. Then another cool thing is that you can do here, you can expand this pattern so you can access the different elements of the pattern, and you can modify them to make it even more interesting. So let's go in here and let's expand this pattern. Now it's a group of different elements, right? It's a group of our smiley faces. So now let's say we want to go in here into this group and we want to select only one, and we want to turn around, make it a little bit more exciting, right? And then we want to go in here and we want to change the color. We can totally do that. We can go here into our properties panel and we can change the color. It's that easy. And our pattern is now not just a pattern, it's a modified pattern. And it's really, really amazing to play with that as well. By the way, if you want to resize proportionally, I always hold this key on the side, the shortcut to proportionally resize something. It's really, really helpful to have that on your side and comfortable for you, for your hand to kind of place it on the iPad.
Yeah, and when we were working with changing the color on that, you saw that the color panel looks a little bit different on iPad, but it also integrates all of your color schemes from libraries. There's color pickers, and there's been amazing color updates to the desktop as well. So we'll show you that if you stick around at the end as well.
And all the colors that are inside our libraries, which is really amazing. I have my Future and Sons, which is the brand that I'm creating, and I have this color palette that I have created. You can also add some custom colors into your swatches. Let's go out of the library. So let's say I want to save this. Let's say I want to save this purple color onto my. Let me go get it a little bit deeper into here. Okay, so let's say I want to save this purple color to my swatches. All I have to do is click the little plus up here, and it's already part of my swatches, and I can reuse it in the other parts of my artwork. Right? And then another cool thing is that we have is radial repeat. So let's take the same element, let's copy paste this. I duplicated it and now I'm pulling it into my artboard. So now let's create something more fun here. Let's create a radial repeat. So I'm clicking radial repeat, and we have this cool thing happening here. We have the slider on the right side that will create copies from our design and arrange them around the circle. And we can even, modify how many percent of the circle we want to be filled, right? So that can be really, really interesting to play with. And now we can also, of course, resize. We can do some really fun things with that. And later on, we can even go back and adjust the elements, which is also really, really fun.
Yes, and if you work with radial repeats, especially if you want to get crazy and work with just lines, simple shapes, things that are stroked, you can get some insane patterns that look like those little like spiralgrams that you played with as a kid. So that was the first thing that I did. I got in and I just started drawing lines and making these crazy spirals using the radial repeat. And it was like the funnest thing to do.
Yeah, and what I'm showing you guys right now is the mirror repeat, which is really, really cool. I already selected it for this object. So whenever I'm moving this object, the line in the middle acts like a mirror. So it mirrors the object, and you can make some really, really cool art. Let's say you're using your blood brush. Let's select the color here. So let's say we have a black color, we have a little blob brush, and now we want to create a mirror repeat, right? So now we can go in here and create some modifications, and that will repeat on the other side as well. So that can be really, really cool for if you're creating some symmetric illustration, or if you just want to save yourself some time and, just draw one side and just copy to the other side, mirror it. Super, super cool.
And for those people asking if it goes back and forth between desktop, it does. And guess what? It also integrates with Photoshop or Fresco. You can import projects from Photoshop, from Fresco, right into Illustrator. It is compatible across the board. Super powerful tool that is now joining the ranks of the Adobe Creative Cloud library.
Yeah, super awesome. All right, so we have covered radial grid and mirror repeat, which is really, really fun tool to create some amazing patterns. Now let's jump into type on the path. I really, really love creating stamps with my logo and creating some really cool things. So let me show you guys how that works. So here I have, created something that I didn't want to. But here I have my typeface, right? My logo is typed out, and now I want to put it on a certain shape. Let's say it's a wave or a circle. Let me quickly create a wave with a pencil tool. So I'm just going to create a random wave, right? I'm going to swap the colors here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So now my outline is black and my filling is non-colored. Yep. So now I have this line and I want to place my text onto this line, and I want to have it kind of following the line. So what I do is I select both. I select both of these objects, and now I go here on type on the path. And now my type is getting adjusted to the path. Yes. Now, the coolest thing here is, I really, really love, is that you can edit the path. You can go into the vector and you can play around with this. You can select a vector point and you can modify it and create some really, really cool type distortions here, which are really amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. I'm really loving this right now. I love playing with this. And I also love kind of experimenting with typefaces and, creating some amazing, innovative logo conceptions. So this can be really, really interesting to play with. And in the same way, you can also place the type on a circle, on a square, on a star, on any shape that you want, any shape that you draw. So this can be really, really amazing to play with and really, really cool.
Yeah, so and you saw the way that you drew that line was just with the pencil tool. So it has some incredible smoothing capabilities on that pencil tool. You can draw very quickly and it will make it look like you have the most steady surgeon hand, even if you're like shaky. It smooths that all out to you, creates amazingly awesome vectors that you can go then back in and augment, but most of the time you don't need to.
Yeah, that's true. And the smoothing options you will find here at the bottom. We have smoothing set to 5 right now, but what if I set it to 10? Let's see how my drawing will look like. Let's swap the colors here. Okay. And you see how smooth the curve already is by itself. And I just did some random squiggle, right? I did not do anything much. So let me do this again. And as you can see, while I'm drawing, Illustrator adjusts the path for me, recognizing what I want to do, right? So if I want to write an E, it helps me kind of with the curves already. So let's say I want to write an A. It helps me with the curves and it makes things just look so much better, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, type on a path is something that has come over from the desktop as well. I love using here, again, being able to be hands-on and touch and move where the type is, to play with the paths, and then to be able to set your type and then grab those two shapes and then push them together is incredible, amazing, super helpful. And I use this all the time because I create a lot of badges, a lot of type-based work. And I will create it all on the go on iPad and then bring it over to Illustrator on desktop for texturing, for extra little button-ups. And it's just the best thing to not have to wait to get home and be able to do it on the go and get ahead of a project.
Yeah, so let's create a little badge. So I'm going here into my type tool, and I'm just writing out something that I want to place around the circle, right? So now I've created just a random circle, and I'm going to select both of these things, and I'm going to go on type on the path, and now I already have a really cool badge going on. And I'm just going to adjust the typeface size here in the settings. So the settings you will find here with the little sliders on the bottom right. And now I'm just going to go in and use my slider here again to adjust the typeface size. Here, maybe I'll add a little break so that it's a little bit better distributed around the circle.
And something that's happening with this is you're working with a cloud doc, which means that it's syncing into the cloud, accessible on Illustrator as well on desktop. But what it does is it actually tracks version history. It has a super fast save and it auto saves. You can be able to access the documents offline, and then you can go back and forth between Illustrator on iPad and Illustrator on desktop. The cloud documents are amazing. You can share them, you can collaborate. It's awesome. Cloud documents are the future. It's so nice to be able to just like pop open and I don't have to find a file. It's just there. It's like, here are your cloud documents. Great. Open this from what I was working on earlier.
Yeah, totally. And now let's say I have this badge and I want to create some custom lettering inside it, right? So I want to use my blob brush. Here, I'm going to select my blob brush and I can already go in. I can set my smoothing maybe to like 5 to let's say a little bit more medium, because I feel like I'm advanced with lettering. And now I can set also different other options. I can set my roundness, I can set my angle, kind of like you have with calligraphy tools, right? And we have also pressure dynamics, which is also really, really awesome. We can adjust the different size that the stroke varies by pressuring more or less onto it. So let's set it to pretty high and let's go back and let's try it out. Let's actually quickly just lock this object so it doesn't get into my way. To lock the object, you have this little lock symbol at the bottom. So now let's go back into our brush and let's write out an F or a letter that's maybe
blob it up.
Yeah, so let's say this is our little object. We can go in, we can resize it, and we can create some custom stuff here. So that's pretty cool. And you can already create variations with this. So I can go ahead and let's say I want to copy paste this. So I'm clicking the little plus here, and I can already create another variation, and I can remove that and create another little custom work here. So let me adjust the smoothness and maybe roundness a little bit.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are asking about effects and some of the envelope distorts and some of the more advanced things that we've seen on the desktop. That's why this is a great place to start to work as far as you can on the iPad. And then using the cloud docs, it's super easy to hop over into Illustrator on desktop and use, if you want to do texturing effects, if you want to do any of the envelope distort, more advanced stuff. That's how I've been working, is I'll lay down all of my vectors, all of my type, everything that I can on iPad to get it locked in. And then any of the more complex effects and stuff that I want to add, I'll bring it over to desktop using those iCloud documents. But I mean, the benefit of being able to work on the plane for an extra hour or something that I don't have to wait to get home. And I get home and I'm like, cool, now I just have to do effects. Boom, done.
Totally. And the cool thing is here, guys, you can totally bring in different files into this. So if you have any libraries or cloud document files, so let's say I have some library files here, and I have some Future and Sons, some things that I have created. So let's bring some of that in. I have, let's go in here. Let's say I have this shape that I have kind of created, and now I can play with the shape. It's right here. I can play with the shape and add it to my logo. So let's say I want to kind of make it a little bit bigger, place it over here. And then we also have this same layer system, right? So we have the different of this object by just sliding it kind of to the sides and determining whether it's in the background or in the foreground. So that can be also really, really cool and easy to play with layers. You don't even have to go into the layer panel, although you have it right here and accessible. So you can also go manual in here, but that is a really, really amazing, helpful tool for me that I found I'm playing with a lot.
Yep, the functionality of being able to do and so easy as you work through it. Totally. And we have about 20-ish minutes left. And so we're going to show you, Julia, if we want to move on to some of the coloring things and show off some of the gradients.
Yeah, totally. So let's jump quickly. I want to show you guys how this document has been translated. Totally switch to my desktop now, and we can see how it looks when I open the document on my desktop. So as you can see, I have a bunch of files, and this is the file that I've just been working on. So as you can see, I've just been doing this on my iPad, and it's already available on my desktop. And everything that I've been doing previously is also available here on my desktop. And I can go in, I can still adjust everything that I have done on the iPad. And it's just a really, really great kind of workflow to start on the go, start from the living room, start from, just... So this is why I love Illustrator on the iPad. It's been so much fun playing around with it. And at this point, I wanted to also to thank the team of Illustrator on the iPad to be letting us being part of the beta version and letting us kind of bring in our inputs and play around with it even before it was released. So thank you so much.
Yep. So we're going to stay right here, Julia. And I'm actually going to switch over to, we can see on the side of her screen, right, we saw her libraries. And what's awesome is we can flip over to my screen, and I'll go ahead and share this. And on my screen, we can see that over on the side, I have now my saved the colors in here, some of the elements that Julia has created, and the text into here. I can come in here and organize my libraries by just clicking literally on auto generate groups for me, and watch what happens. So I click on auto generate. It's now grouped it into colors, typography, and vector graphics. And so Julia has created this awesome color scheme. And let's, the things that I have changed in that Creative Cloud library are now synced to Julia's. It's live. So now you can go in there, you can change all that. And not only has it synced on the desktop, it's also synced over on the iPad as well, which is amazing. And so Julia, do we want to hop back over and show off a couple more features on the iPad, and then I'll show you guys how to do the coloring on desktop? Let's show off maybe the gradient tool, and then show people how they can go live with their own.
Yeah, the libraries, first of all, are really, really amazing to kind of collaborate, and also, of course, the cloud documents. But now let's take a look at our point gradient. So let's say I'm making a circle, right? I'm making a circle. Oops. Let's say I'm making a circle like this. By the way, holding the little circle element here, the shortcut circle, I believe, the touch shortcut, that's what it's called. So that, by the way, can also get a little bit more complex. So by holding it, you're accessing one shortcut, but by sliding it to the side, in addition to that, gradients. So we have our color fill in here, that's white color, right? Now that we go into the gradient, we'll be able to access the point gradients. So here we can play around with these, and wherever we click inside the circle, we can add another gradient, and we can go ahead and change the color of those just by simply clicking onto those. It's super amazing to play on the iPad, and it's been such a amazing, like, it's so easy to access those points instead of clicking at them with the mouse. It's very intuitive and very easy to kind of play around with, and you can create some really amazing things with that. So I'm really, really thankful for that.
It's awesome. And I like to think of that almost as like dropping water balloons as we go.
Yeah.
That you're dropping those points and they're just exploding water balloons. And so that's a super powerful feature. You also have all of the gradient features that you know. You can do radial gradients, you can do directional gradients. All of that is controlled using that Apple Pencil. Super powerful to be able to customize in every way. And it's great because it is the Illustrator we all know, but completely reimagined. And it's fun to go and just discover again and play with creativity and figure out what you can do. So we're going to show off one more thing, and then I'm going to hop over to desktop. Let's show off how people can go live from their app to their Behance. And then we're going to highlight one of our streamers, our friend Hank Washington, in just a second. But Julia, let's show people how to go live, and then I will flip back over to your stream. So let's click that button and see what happens.
Yeah, sure. So let's say I am creating a document and I want to inspire some others. Let's say I'm creating some amazing illustration. I want to inspire others to create more. I can totally go live and I can stream my workflow, my progress live onto Behance. So if I click this little button at the top, I'll be able to go and start the live stream. So here I'll be able to add the stream title and the stream description, and then I'll be able to go live and start my broadcast. Here you'll be able to access the camera and also the microphone. And of course, the screen capture is something that's set to default. So you'll always share your screen, and you'll be able to access your camera, which will show your face, and of course the microphone in case you want to speak with your audience. So that's a really, really powerful feature. And we would like to show you guys one of the streamers that's actually streaming right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to hop over and check out Hank. Julia, if you want to go live, we'll show people how that looks. But right now, we're going to show off one of our featured streamers, our friend Hank Washington. He is the absolute best. And right now, you can see on his screen, on my screen, that Hank is live. He is live on his Behance profile. You'll see this little button that just says live. And if you click on the video tab, we can hop in here and we can check out Hank's live stream. So we're going to click here and
bringing them into the vector world of Illustrator.
Hello, Hank.
So we're just having fun using the Adobe Illustrator on iPad.
So here we go. Let me take the audio real quick. There we go. So this is Hank. He is live streaming right from iPad. Super easy. He's an amazing illustrator. Works in these very simple shapes, but then adds this sizzle. So go follow him. There are his social links. He's one of my favorite artists, and he does work all of the time. He's streaming all of the time. So make sure you follow him. And this is what it looks like when you're going live. You can customize. And again, you can show your face while you do that. And I believe, Julia, are you live as well?
I was trying to get live, but I thought you want to show off that as well. I can start my broadcast. Sure.
Cool. So Julia's going to start her broadcast. And again, Hank is one of the great streamers that's live here on Behance. There are a bunch of featured streamers that are on Behance all the time. So follow the people you like, find them on Behance. And a lot of times they go live on their own. They have a lot of fun. And you see the professional live streams that happen that are buttoned up and composed like this. And then you also get streams that are just hangouts that are just super fun. And so I'm sure that Hank is having some really chill times right now working on this character. So yeah, go hang out with Hank and spend a little bit of time. Actually, yeah, hop in his chat if you want to. Say hello and let him know that we sent you and that we love him because his work is amazing. And he's just a cool guy. So Julia, are you live?
I'm gonna go live a little bit later.
Cool.
Just showing off some things, but yeah, I'm really excited. If you guys can follow us on our social media and also on our Behance, make sure to tune in if we stream. Ask us questions if you have any. We're always happy to help. So yeah, really excited to have been able to present this to you. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in.
Yeah, and I'm going to show off one more thing, and I believe we have, I think, 10-ish more minutes left. So I'm going to show off the final feature that I really want to show you, and that is the amazing new features of recoloring things in Illustrator on desktop. So if you've tuned in for any of the daily creative challenges, we've done this on pretty much every one of the daily creative challenges. And if you're unfamiliar, every single day there are new daily creative challenges. I'm starting a new set next week, 11:30 every single day, Pacific time, you can tune in, and we are going to be playing around with some of the new features. And the one that I want to show you is the new and improved Recolor Artwork tools. So check this out. What I can do is I have this amazing illustration of Carnival in Brazil. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm going to go up to Edit Colors, and Recolor Artwork. Now, we have in the past only had this Recolor Artwork option, but check this out. There are all kinds of new options for you to explore. Let's say that we've worked on a crazy illustration with all these colors, and our client says, oh, actually, we need it to be in grayscale, right? That used to be an absolute nightmare, and now I can come here, I can edit colors, I can click on Convert to Grayscale, and check it out. Now, that is all converted to grayscale, and not only is it converted to grayscale, it's not a filter. These colors have actually changed. They have completely changed so that we can augment those. And check this out. We can also go to Edit Colors and use the Adjust Color Balance. And this is integrating some things that we've seen in things like Photoshop, to where here we have all of our RGB. We can increase the red, the green, the blue, and play around. I'll turn the preview on, and we can see that we can augment these colors in real time for what we want them to be. So maybe we want it to be a little more yellow, a little more Lion King vibes, and we're going to hit OK. And now it has easily recolored all of this artwork using those new settings. And again, it's not just a filter, it is live colors that are happening here. Yes, this is absolutely mind-blowing. So the thing that I want to do is, let's say Julia, right? We've shared this this Creative Cloud library, right? And you picked out these colors for the brand, right? So you share this library with me, and let's say that the brand designer says, oh, we need it to be in the brand colors. Oh boy, great. So I can simply grab these colors. I can add them to my swatches, which I've already done. And I'm going to select our illustration, go to Edit Colors, and Recolor Artwork. Now in this new panel, it's an amazing new panel, Pure Magic. Let me move my floating head. There we go. So I can come in here and I can go to Color Libraries. I can go to Color Group and check it out. I have Julia's colors already saved and integrated in here. When I click those, it's going to recolor this artwork to use Julia's colors. I also can switch up the order of the colors. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. So if I make a mistake, I can go to Reset, and boom, it's going to reset to originally where it was. And now I can click and shuffle these colors around so that I find a good kind of mix. And let's say that this is too light for me. I want more of this brown. I can simply grab and drag this, and it's going to give me more of that key color that I want in that composition from Julia's work. So amazing. The other thing I can do is, let's say I found this picture of this duck, right? And I'm like, dang, the colors on this duck are super cool, right? We can go to Reset, and we can bring an image into Illustrator and simply click on the color theme picker. And with this selected, if I click on this image, you can see that it highlights, and it's going to grab the color scheme from this image and boom, apply it over to my composition. And from here, I can drag, if I want it to be a little bit brighter, I can drag that and it's going to augment those colors. And now you can see I've integrated all these beautiful colors from this duck into all of the design that I've created. So super amazing, incredibly powerful tool that you can use here in Illustrator to mess with colors. You also, if a client wanted, you can come in here, you can go into color books. And let's say we want this to be in Pantones, boom, Pantone coded. It's going to convert it into the Pantone colors for me now. And if I come back over into my swatches panel with this, I can simply make a group of those, and here are all of my Pantone swatches of those colors so that I don't have to deal with going in and trying to do all this crazy color matching. Boom, done it for me in a heartbeat. Mind blown. This is an absolutely revolutionary workflow changing tool that hopefully you can integrate into your workflow. And Julia, we've got a couple more things to talk about, but I want to ask you, what's your favorite part so far of working in iPad on Illustrator?
I think my favorite part is be able to work with my pencil. Before, I always used to work with my mouse. So now I have way more ability to create custom illustrations, anything custom, basically right there inside my design. I don't have to kind of import it from somewhere else. Before, I would sketch something on my iPad and then I would import it into my Illustrator. Right now, I can simply access my pen and start drawing right away, start doing some lettering, some amazing, manual work.
Yep, and Adobe's actually going to be featuring a bunch of live streamers. So let's hop back over to Hank's live stream. You can check out his links over there. But Adobe is doing an awesome campaign that is launching that will be a designer of the day. And every day for 30 days, beginning at Max, we're going to showcase a notable designer and their Illustrator on iPad stories, the journey that they've gone. How long have you been working on Illustrator on iPad, Julia?
Since the beta version.
Yes.
So probably like beginning of the summer, or a little bit, maybe like beginning of the year almost. Yeah.
Yes. And
probably like February.
Where's the best place that you have worked with it so far? Because I know that you've been traveling. Where has been like the most exotic location that you're like, I'm just going to work in Illustrator real quick?
Probably in Brazil.
Yes, that's right. I actually picked that illustration because I was like, oh, I know that she was just in Brazil. And so Adobe is launching this to feature some of the streamers, some of their stories, where they've gone, how they're improving their workflows. And it's an app that's built with community in mind. We showed that the live streaming tools that we see with Hank, this is a great way to build community. You can hop into Hank's stream. You can meet some new people right here on Adobe Live. You can chat. You can connect with Hank. You can get some advice, get some tips, and watch those. And Adobe Live will have 2 live streams featuring designers working on the iPad following Max. So 11/26 and 27 with Birgit Palma, and on 11/2 and 11/3 with Janet Leah. So that is coming up. Make sure that you tune in to those. And Julia, do you have any advice for people that are watching Max that have a ton more content coming up, that they're like overwhelmed with the amount of things that they're about to see?
I would search for the people that you probably have been following, like Meg Lewis, for example. I think she's really amazing, and there's a lot of things that you can learn from her. She's really, really fun. Just look for people that you like, designers that you like, and watch their sessions, ask questions if they're live. So make sure to ask questions whenever sessions are live. This is your chance to get in touch and to really get your answers.
That's right. And talking about Meg Lewis, there is actually a session coming up with her a little bit later. So we're going to throw up a schedule real quick and show you what is coming up here on the Max Chats. We are hanging out right now, and I believe after us, we have some more awesome sessions coming up, and I can't see the screen because I'm screen sharing and I've made a mistake. That's what's happening. So there's awesome sessions coming up. There we go. With Octavia Brunel doing Adobe Fresco next. And then our friend Meg Lewis is coming up with Expressing Yourself with Type. And then some first takes on photography. So tons of first takes today for you to get hands-on. You'll watch the keynotes, you'll see the big new features, and then you can tune in right here on Adobe Live for the Max Chats. We're always here to give you the inside scoop, give you all of the information that you need. And Julia, do you have any other things to add? Let's make sure that we've covered all the things in chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop those in. We have about 3 minutes left. So let's see. Do we want to show off anything else on the iPad?
I think I would like to kind of give a little speech to those who are just starting off in design and maybe are beginners, absolute beginners. Firstly, we have our link bit.ly/maxchats2020. Make sure to check that out. But otherwise, guys, I think for me as a self-taught designer, it was very important to go step by step and don't get discouraged. I think those things are the most important things on your way. Don't get discouraged by others. Just do your thing. Go and do it step by step. To participate in the daily creative challenges. Watch our amazing Adobe Lives. Ask questions. Get in touch with other designers. Everybody's more than happy to help. And don't be shy. Ask your questions and get your answers. I would say that's the most important thing, and keep on learning.
Absolutely. And the thing that I want to give your advice going into Max this week, don't put expectations on yourself. Don't feel like you have to change your entire workflow. Don't feel like you have to learn all of the things. Just be in the moment, experience it, have fun, get connected, take notes if you want to. If not, don't. There's literally no rules here. We want you to engage, to get into community, and make a new friend. So if you...
You okay, Andrew?
Ooh, man. And again, tune into the live sessions because it's live. So yes, go ahead and make a new friend, find someone in chat right now, click on their little profile and go follow them. Send them a message of encouragement. Go find our friend Hank, who is live streaming right now, and go tell him that he's amazing, that he's awesome, and check out some of the new features on iPad. And I believe that that is us trying to start landing the plane with our time here. Hopefully you've enjoyed and you've learned a lot about iPad on Illustrator. Oh boy, Illustrator on iPad. And there will be a lot more coming. If you want to tune in on Monday, next Monday, we are starting a new set of daily creative challenges with yours truly. And I believe Julia's coming up a little bit next month. We will be able to show you some of the new features on iPad as well as the new features on desktop. So thanks so much for tuning in. And Julia, do you want to sign us out?
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.